All right, hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here. Probably with one of the most important videos you're going to find, and it's because it's the most, it's the question I get the most throughout my trading career here at Day Trading Radio. Is how do I set up my charts, and can you help me set up my charts? Because you remember, I have a certain method that I trade using 4 bands of stochastics, and it's not the typical way you would use these things. So I teach a whole methodology around this, and for those out there who understand it and start to grasp it, it's an amazing way of trading. So of course, a lot of people want the settings on the stochastics, and I'm not afraid of giving those out at all. You know, I spent a long time putting this method together and how it works and stuff, and it takes time to learn that, and that's what I teach. And even if I give you away some of the secrets of not even secrets, but some of the internal things, that doesn't make a great trader. Trading comes down to discipline and patience, and that's what we try to teach here at Day Trading Radio. I could show you how to fish and stuff, but you're going to have to get up in the morning. You're going to have to throw the line out. You're going to have to put the time in. You got to be in front of the setups when the setups are there. There's so many things that go to trading that I always stress more important than just indicators of bots and automated trading. You know, this is how I read the markets. This is the echocardiogram of the market. This tells me everything I want to look at. The combination of these 4 stochastics is so perfect for me, the way I have it tuned. And we'll go over it. I'm going to go over it. This is actually on the NinjaTrader platform. Now, a lot of people are asking me for the Tradingview. So I'm going to do the NinjaTrader, and I'm going to do the Tradingview platform and how to do your indicators on it. All right. So this is the big video. Everyone wants it. This is going to be the one that kind of answers all the questions, hopefully. So we'll start off with NinjaTrader, and again, we'll start off with our what's on our chart. Now, the biggest thing on the chart is going to be these 4 bands of stochastics. Each one is a stochastic band. It's the D line that is showing. Typically, stochastics come with 2 lines. All right, the percentage K line and a percentage D line. And let's see if we could actually show you that for a second. I'll try to bring up some things for us so we could. I remember sometimes this could bog down. I don't want to bog down. All right, so if you go to your indicators on the NinjaTrader platform, up in the top of your chart, you'll see a little ziggly line. It'll say indicators, and you scroll down, and you'll see it under your available indicators. Again, this is on NinjaTrader right now. You'll see stochastics, and you'll see stochastics fast. Now, the history of stochastics came about in the 1950s, George Lane, and he started off with the fast stochastic. Over time, they've changed the stochastics to slow them down, add moving averages, and basically have taken on different names. So now we've had the fast stochastics and the slow stochastics. And the slow stochastics is basically the fast stochastics with another moving average placed on the K line. All right. The full stochastics gives you 3 parameters. So you're going to see all kinds. So you're going to see the fast, you're going to see the slow, you're going to see full. And sometimes you'll see stochastics. And most likely they're going to either be fast or slow. But if they have 3 inputs, then they're typically full. And when I say 3 inputs, we'll take a look at that also. So anyway, we're going to click on the flat. If you have an option for fast stochastics, that's what you want. You're going to click on that, and you're going to bring it down into your thing, and then it has the parameters here. So your period K line represents how many candles you're looking back, and your D line is a moving average that's placed on the K line and gives you the results on, and it is plotted on the D. All we're paying attention to is the D line. All right, now that I have that up here, I want to just let's make this a random. Let's just make it so it's different. Let's make it 110. All right, so we're just going to apply that. And it should pop up on my screen. And now, it didn't give me the 2 lines. Typically I wanted 2 lines, but I have a feeling. Let me get the 2 lines on here. Sorry about that. Typically you're going to have the 2 lines. See, I have the K line automatically made transparent, but typically it won't be transparent. It might be whatever color you want it. I made it transparent. That's how you're going to do it. So you just get the D line. But if it wasn't transparent, it'd be something else. Maybe it'd be, we'll make it real Dodge blue here. Well, actually, everything's blue. That's not going to work. Johnny, what are you doing, Johnny? Let's make it green. All right, just make it weird like that. Apply that. And now you can see the stochastic band down here and what stochastics typically look like. You have the D line, or the blue line is the signal line, and then you have the K line, which is the active line. Now that's kind of an interesting thing here, because that's the 100 on 10. So it's interesting. I have to do some studies on that too, because I remember using this one a while ago. Anyway, we're not using that, and let's get rid of it. I just wanted to show you what the stochastics typically look like. They usually have two lines. So when you're into your stochastics and you're going into those, if you're into those properties there, you just want to make sure, cancel that. You want to make sure your stochastics, your K line is transparent. Your K line is transparent. That's on NinjaTrader. So you pull that down, and you gotta go to transparent. It's usually up on the top, and then you have it boom, and then you apply it, and then all of a sudden you just have the one line. And you put it in you put it in speed order. And what I mean by speed order, the less candles, the faster the stochastics are going to react. So the top one, even though it's not labeled, is 9.3. Fast stochastics. Top one is 9.3. Second one is 14.3. Third one is 44. And the last one is 60.10. Now this one's not going to be there, but if we were looking at it, that's what it would be like. That's just kind of a cool setup there. Interesting. All right, so let me get rid of that one here. I want to just get rid of it anyway, if I can get rid of it. Oh, that's right. I gotta go to my indicators. All right, so that's, again, you want to have all four only showing the D line. Again, that's the important thing. The D line is what we want. We don't want to even see the K line at all. All right, so we have four in a row, and what we're using, and again, I'm just mostly about the indicators. If you know what how I use these, then, or you're going to learn how to use these, then there are going to be other videos to teach you about that. This is basically kind of showing you what's on there, how to get them, how to set them up for the NinjaTrader and the Tradingview. So now we have all four stochastics. Our stochastics are used for a couple different things. Of course, the divergence indicator is big, and that's what typically we use on the top two, or typically divergence indicator zones that we look for, the lower lows, the higher lows on the stochastics. But the divergence can also show up in the 44 and the 60-10, and when they do, they're even more impressive. So we look at all of them for divergences, but we will take divergences if they only show up on one of the four. All right. They only show up in one of the four, that's fine. All right. The other way we trade the stochastics is what we call a quad rotation. Now there's other setups too that I'll go over, but the other big one is called a quad rotation. That's when all four time frames. Now we have to remember, this is a 9.3, 14.3, 44, and 60.10. Don't worry about anything else other than each one represents kind of a different times or a speed of the momentum underneath the price, and that's what stochastics is measuring, momentum. So the longer the time frame, this is synced up to represent the 5-minute time frame. So if I look at the 5-minute time frame, at the same time I'm looking at this at 2:30, and you see that 60-10 here is underneath 20. It's where it's 17, 20, 17, 18, depending on where you are at what time. Right after 2:30. If we go to the 5-minute time frame here, remember 2:30. And now it's going to be a totally different chart. Let's see here. Oh. I have to put a circle on there because when I reset it to the 5 minutes, it goes all the way back, so I hadn't looked at it. So I'm going to put a circle on that, circle on this. Remember, we're talking about the quad rotation at 2:30. And when that quad rotation sets up, that 5 minute, well actually that 60-10 represents our 5 minute time frame. It's like looking at a 1 minute time frame, which we're on right now, but we also know that our 5 minute setup, and that's what makes this so perfect. So if I switch over to the 5 minute here and then scroll back to where that circles are, you should see, let's go out here, right there. Let's zoom in here. We can zoom in a bit. So now we're out on the 5 minute time frame. My charting. So that's where that 5 minute, and as you can see, now on the 5 minute time frame, we're oversold on the 9-3. And that's very important. That's typically a reversal for us, or for those traders who are trading those time frames. That 5 minute time frame is key when it gets oversold on the 9-3. So if we have an oversold now on the 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, all these time frames lining up, because we just confirmed that on the 5 minute without looking at the 5 minute. I could just now look at my 1 minute time frame. And that's the beauty. I like doing that the best, because I could pinpoint our entries with divergences now. So those pinpointed entries, as we know that this area right here, was this it? I think this was it. Yeah, let me zoom out here. And you know, if I do see, this is actually a little coil too. So there's a couple things here I recognize, that I could recognize because of the slow rotation down here. It took about 4 rotations, 3 to 4 rotations down here, including this one right here. And we wait for that to come down. When that typically happens, that's what we call a coil. And a coil works really good because when we start with 1, 2, 3, 4, we usually look for a pop. And there should be a channel underneath it too. Now in this case, we'll make that channel just like kind of like this right here. Now it's kind of a hard one to kind of read into at the time, but typically if you start looking at your pivots 1, 2, 3, and you kind of put that down, and then you close back on that, there's a lot of things that you like down here. It's not a perfect channel, and I wouldn't even put it out to here. You know, I wouldn't do that. I would just keep it. I'm always drawing our channels in, so I'm looking at it like this pretty much. I see that reversal candle. We already have a quad rotation. Everything is pointing to a big reversal here, and that's why we find these areas and send them out. So that's all we use. So stochastics used for quad rotation, coils. When the 9-3 is slowly moving down, waiting, what I call waiting for the 60-10 to get oversold. That's very powerful, very, very powerful. First of all, it gives us time to know what's going to happen. If you can start to recognize that, it becomes so easy to wait for. You know, sometimes it's just perfect. It's like you're just waiting for this to kind of get all the way down and this to get very close, and then you tend to get these much bigger moves when they all work together. Again, quad rotations. If I put this line here and just scroll, you'll see lots of times when we get down and they all get oversold, you get these big explosive moves. Big explosive moves. All right. So that's what we wait for. It keeps us out of the market at the worst times too. You know, sure, you could say, well, what about this rally? We should have been in this. Well, that's pretty hard to do, to tell you the truth. You're embedded up here. That's a good sign. Your rotations are good. I mean, if you were going to take a trade, but we have a way of trading that consistently works. And this is kind of a gamble. You don't know where this was going to go. What was the news here? It was 840 and stuff. We wait for the setups. This is actually something that we might have even seen. It was kind of a relative divergence with that fast spike down, a high rotation on this. So these things are showing up for us. And this is what we read into the stochastics. Not to go into anything more on the stochastics. It's about the indicators. The rest of the indicators on the line here are the 200, which is the red line, the 50, which is the blue line, and the green line, which is the 20-period moving average. And we use those to identify our flags with the 4 stochastics. So I use stochastics also identify flags when we have fast rotations like this. When we have a move up here off the 20-period moving average, and then we're going to move back. This comes back very fast to the 20, right when it touches the 20. And if that touches the 20 and the price is on the 20, and the stochastics are above 80, in this case they're above 80 at that point, but they are chopping around the higher level. But if we look back in the history of that, we know that the trend is real strong. So usually the first pullbacks you're seeing are flags. So if it looks like a flag, acts like a flag, and internally, this is the internal thing. This is what most people, most traders don't know anything about what's going on underneath the charts. They just see it. Oh, that's a flag. It doesn't have to be a flag. That could be just a top. It could continue moving down. But we know it's a flag because the internal strength is telling us that, and we have the fast rotation. We know exactly how it times up, and it works every time. Well, it works more than it doesn't work. Same thing to the downside, and very important to the downside too. That kept us out of a lot of trouble today. We had a lot of trades today, and I wonder if I have my trades on this. Well, I got to go. See, this is me going the wrong way. I don't want to talk about the trades. I want to talk about our indicators. Now, the trend lines, of course, I put those in there myself. We look for divergences all four, but this is the most important thing: the D line, the 9-3, 14-3, 44, 60, 10. I have the template. If you're a member of Day Trading Radio, you get the template. It's in your playbook section. It's in the playbook section of the chart of your dashboard. And what do I mean by that? Let's go to that fast so I could show you. All right, here's your dashboard. Is this the market right now? Oh, it is the market right now. Look at that. Market just kind of rolled over there. All right, so here's the market right now. And up on the top of your up on the top here, you'll see, I'll zoom this in a little. You'll see a lot of little, this is again when you sign in as a member. You'll see the HBS watch list, the forums, the playbook, support, alert managers, trade archives, everything else. Your news is over to the right, in case you're not familiar, first time seeing about Day Trading Radio. Great stuff, a lot of stuff on this. Your bot section, DTR2, but up here is where all your education, a lot of your lessons, plans are. Go to the playbook. That'll open up into your DTR playbook, and then I just posted a business plan for traders. Let's see, how to download the RockBot script for NinjaTrader and install them. That's a chart templates for NT. So you go there, and then we have the chart template for NinjaTrader, Tradingview stochastic settings. We're going to talk about that next. What the Tradingview chart setup looks like, how to get that. And then here's my futures positioning sizing. This is a great little calculator to have to help you adjust. There's just a lot of stuff on here. And a lot of people add in their platforms and stuff to it. So there's just a lot of good information there. If you want to check that out, you get that as a member on our forums there. All right, that's where you get those templates. If you want the templates, if not, it's simple enough to put them together. Again, go up to your indicator list. Go to Fast Stochastics, drop down four of them, each one, the 9-3, the 14-3, the 44, the 60-10. Make the K1 transparent, and you're good to go. All right? All right, let's move over to Tradingview now. To Tradingview. Oh, you know what? One more thing before I jump over to the Tradingview section of this. We talk about the quad rotation and the setups and the divergence, how well these work. And if you're not in front of your computer and you miss these, there's not much I could do for you or you could do about that. I mean, it is important to be in front of that. A lot of people don't have time to be in front of their computers. So I put together a service. I think this is the greatest service I put out there, and it's so cheap. It comes with your membership at Day Trading Radio. It's the Voxer Alert. And the Voxer Alerts is what I call the Futures Trade Alert Network. And the Futures Trade Alert Network is basically when the setups come up, and I'm watching the markets constantly, all right? I'm watching the markets constantly for our super signals. This is how you set them up. And what we're looking for are certain setups, quad rotation divergence, quad rotation coil, quad rotation trend line, quad rotation VWAP, coil divergence, buy-sell divergence. These are what we call the super signals, or at least the playbook trades. Our super signals are really lane divergence. Well, actually, I have it right down here a little bit better here. The quad divergence, the quad VWAP, quad rotation. We're not going to use the bull and bear flag as the super signal or the quad coil, but the I want to post this link in the bottom. There's a lot of information you get with this, but the fact is, when I'm trading these and we send out these levels, and you have the Voxer. This is an example. I send these out on your phone, all right? And let's just take an example. Let's put it out there. Well, this is what you would hear. So this is an alert that went out today.
All right, traders, it's 12:21. Markets are pulling back down to the lows of what we're looking at, the ES here. We're at the lows, but we're also at the previous high and the previous
I think we're right
close.
around here.
And we have a trend line right underneath us. I want to give you a perfect setup on that.
All right, I'm talking about this trend line.
Down here. It's right at 59.88 to 59.87 area. 59.88 to 59.87. Watch that level for a bounce. And we might actually get a bounce at any point here as we're in a quad rotation zone on both the ES and on the NQ. This is a buy side signal. But remember, we're embedded underneath 5 on the 60-10, extreme weakness. So any longs need to be taken off quickly. And I would consider to be very, cautious on your longs right now. This is a very weak market right now.
Well, all right. So this was the alert here. Went into this divergence. So if I see a divergence, I see a lower trend line here. I talked about that number. What was the number? 59.88. That basically came right down to 59.87.75. Talked about a buy there. And we took this trade. And that rotation, which we have a rule for that, if we buy into a weak market on the lower trend line, we might have a signal, but we also have the signal to get out. That's that rotation. So if you could just get out, you don't have to worry about this pullback again. We're snipers in this market. So that's the type of, that's what I send out. When the market is ready to go, I want to send out an alert and say, you're getting very close to a level. That was at 12:22, 12:30. Let's take a look.
We're on that trend line now. We're hit that trend line at 59.90. Take a trade. The stop has to go underneath the lows of the session right here.
So that's me taking a stop. And it kind of announced that too. So that's that. And then
this is an alert 2:07 p.m. Great example of a coil here at 6,003 on the S&P here. The last area right before lunch, that quad rotation at 12:45 was a killer. Now we have our first rotation. It's a quad it's a coiled stochastic. It's not a quad yet. It's a coiled stochastic. Coiled stochastics, when you have the 9-3 make 4 rotations down into an oversold level, and then we tend to have an underlying channel that's setting up, and they all break out of the trend line. I'm going to send you a good picture of that right now.
All right, so I sent you a picture. So let's take a look at that picture because I have to see where we are on this. So that was that, and then I also will send out a picture of the setups. Now you can't really see that too good because it's on my computer and I can't zoom it in. But when you get it on your phone, you can see, and you can see right here, we're looking at this coil right on a coil channel breakout, and you can see that coil right there. Also coming down to a quad coil, what we like to call a quad coil. So lots of times I will point that out to you also. I'm sorry if it's so small there. But again, I just want to point out, you don't have to miss these setups. This is a great little service to have. I offer it to everyone on Patreon. It's such a cheap thing for you guys to get trading with. It's $20 a month. It comes with your membership at Day Trading Radio. So, I mean, that's automatically do that. But if you want to try it out and get those, there it is right there. So check that out. Now let's jump over to the Tradingview charts here. Let me get back over here. Let's see what the market's still selling off pretty hard here. We're back under 6,000. Sorry about this breaking into our chart talk here, but the market's selling off, and we're selling off pretty good and hard. All right, as we look at the Tradingview chart setup here, again, if you log into your Tradingview profile, I'm just going to open up a chart here. We're going to look at the futures. We'll just open up a ES chart here. It'll launch the chart. Now I already have my stochastic set in here, but I'll show you how to set them up. Not that hard. First of all, I think with Tradingview you have to have the right subscription to be able to add multiple indicators. So you have to look that up. You might not have the ability to add more than 5 or 3 or 4 indicators. So you have to go up to a premium membership with Tradingview to be able to do up to a certain amount. So if you're going to use the 4, make sure you can do that. That might be an issue. Again, you can see the stochastics over here. If we take a look at these, well, actually, not that way. We're going to look at the parameters, settings. You'll see this one. It's called the 913. You see how it has three? This typically you just have the K and D line, but because they only have one stochastic setting here, they make it the full stochastic, meaning they're going to give you an extra parameter, an extra smoothing number to go on the K. So we don't want to use that, so we just put 1 in there. It's like dividing it by 1. It doesn't change it at all. So in all these cases, we're going to put the K is going to be the biggest one, the D is the smaller one, and the K smoothing will be 1 in each one of these cases. Oh, not that. I don't need that. Again, 1413. And again, if you look at the visibility, go to style. I make the K line transparent, or I uncheck it, so there's no line there at all. Now you have your upper band, middle band. You could put something in there if you want to make it for your background to be better. You could do other things on that you like, but this is probably the most important thing. I mean, I like putting those things in there. So, and again, 14.3, the 44 would be the same thing. And a 60-10. One last look here. Middle band. Let's make that middle band like really light here. Oh, that's the middle. That's that. All right. I see what that is. I don't need that. So 60, 110. I don't need the middle band. Let's see if I can change that background at all. Oh yeah, that kind of changes the background a bit. We'll leave that like that. All right. All right. Kind of gives us a better view of it's very important to see those stochastics under that 60 line. So sometimes if you want to put those in there, the 80-60 being separated, it helps a bit. So that's how we'd set up that. The same thing above us, you have the 200 period moving average, you probably have the 2 moving averages right now, and you have the VWAP here, and I have the VWAP up here also, which is spot on with my other charts. So these all work pretty good. I mean, the 20 period moving average, I have a light blue. Typically, I keep that green. And if we go over here, let's take a look. That's the 14.3. So we're going to go to the... That's the 14.3? Oh, that's the 20. All right. That's what I wanted. Again, I'm still pretty new with Tradingview. I don't use it as much as I use the NinjaTrader. But everything works good. The scripts work great on it. I want to change this to my light green. That's typically what I use for 20 period moving averages is green. So I keep that. There we go. So that's a little bit better. And usually the 50 is blue. So I might as well make that blue, light blue. Well, that's the VWAP. I don't have the 50 on there. I think I just have the 20 and the 200. And that's the 200. And we would typically make that red, which is pretty red. We'll keep that like that. That's good. And the other one is the VWAP. And usually the VWAP we make salmon color, but I want to change that VWAP, make it easier to see. There we go. I think we can make it a little thicker too. Well, that's good enough. All right, so we got that's how that's set up here. 49 the 9-3, the 14-3, the 44, and the 60-10. Now, looking at the markets right now, selling off a little, we can actually see we're coming down maybe into a quad rotation. Doesn't matter right now. We're going to watch that. And that's how you set up your trading view. Now, again, if you go to the Day Trading Radio website, if you go back up there, you will see that you can get the up in the playbook area here, and you go to templates, you will get, it'll kind of help you there, kind of remember TradingView stochastic settings. All right, that's all 4 of them right there if you need some help. All right, so that's that for there. That's the official release. And again, to get these alerts when we do have the quad rotation or the quad divergence, I forgot to mention, you get that on Patreon, patreon.com/daytradingradio. So patreon.com/daytradingradio or daytradingradio.com, where you get everything. And you're part of a great community of traders that we're trading every single day, from market open to market close to overnight trading to 12 in the midnight for the overnight for the European traders. We're pretty much active all time. Great Discord and stuff. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'll catch you in the markets tomorrow.